Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection reviewer guy of all sorts of places, people, movies, things. Back at ya for the last 5 entries. And I'm already ready for this season to be over. I am so ready for all this to be over. Especially after this one. Number 196. Alan Rene's Hiroshima Mon Amour. (1959), 90 minutes, French, and some Japanese dialogue thrown in there that isn't translated. This movie sucks. There, I said it. This is quite possibly one of the worst films I've ever seen. This is the part where you stop the video and just unsubscribe. Because, obviously, because I don't like it, my opinion is worth jack shit, And anybody else who doesn't like it, their opinion isn't worth jack shit either. You have to like this film, But I didn't. And there are quite a few other people who didn't like it either. This movie is pretentious. It is dull. It tries to make light of a very serious time in world history. It tries to romanticize a very serious time in world history. And I think it doesn't make light. There's no comedy in the film. But it does romanticize the idea. And it's insulting. It's very insulting. It's like I said, it's pretentious. The dialogue is crap. The dialogue sounds like really bad college poetry. Like somebody took a class in EN 321 or something like that. So yeah. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll try to tell you I'll give you the basic of what this movie's about. So, this movie, as far as I could tell, is about a man and a woman, a Japanese man and a French woman, who have an affair in Hiroshima. She is an actress who is filming a scene, some movie there, and she meets this guy. And he's an architect, and they're both married, and they sleep with each other, and they begin to have this very long conversation about the war, about the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. And the first 10 minutes are dedicated to, this woman talking about how she remembers everything that happened in the war. It shows footage from the war, documentary footage and all that. And the guy keeps telling her that she didn't remember any of it. Meanwhile, we see them in bed together, having sex or just after having sex. And you know how, like you can, look at something and you can tell that you're in for a really, really bad time. I mean, like, especially at least a movie. Credits withstanding. You know, the opening, you can't. I mean, the credits looked pretentious enough from the style and the music, but then once it starts, it's like the first couple lines of dialogue, you're like, fuck, I'm not gonna like this. I was just sitting there thinking, this is just shit. This is not gonna work for me. And sure enough, so anyway, the man and the woman, basically a lot of it is just the woman blathering on about her time in the war, and I guess she had sex with a German soldier, and so they cut her hair off and they threw her in a cellar with a cat. And the guy, I don't know, the guy doesn't really have much to say. It's mostly the woman blathering on, you know, as women do. Am I right, fellas? Yeah, so she tries to leave him. He wants to keep seeing her again. But he keeps running into her, and there's no continuity. There's honestly no, like, they just keep leaving each other and coming back to each other, and it just doesn't make sense. There's no point to this movie, apart from, like, you know, the fact that it is not about Hiroshima, more it is about these people. They use the backdrop of this horrendous war, you know, this horrendous moment in world history, to tell this love story between these two characters who are bland, and just horrendously dramatic about everything. Sometimes I don't think they know what they're talking about. They're making it all up. You can't make up what's happened in world history, but you can make up a story about it as to where you were. Yeah. I honestly don't know what else to say. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm just trying not to constantly say, this movie sucks. This movie is crap. Even though that's all I want to say. That's all I wanted to do was come out here and say, this movie sucks. We'll see you tomorrow for Night and Fog. Yeah. But, you know, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. So, yeah. It's just, and it's like, it's 90 minutes too. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's only 90 minutes. But here's the thing. With a movie like this, the movie, the plot, everything, it makes it 105 minutes too long. Do you see what I did there? Do you understand what I'm saying? Good. Now, I know that people like this film. And whatever. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't like this film. I'm sure there are billions of people. This is apparently one of the most famous, you know, top 10 films of all time for most people, especially in the French New Wave. But it just comes off as a pretentious piece of shit. That's all it comes off to me. Yeah. It is just dreck. It's basically dreck. And that's my opinion, you know. You're welcome to have your own. And you will no doubt bash me in the comments the way you did with Solo. You will no doubt bash me in You will no doubt bash me in the comments the way you do with Picnic at Hanging Rock. I'm expecting it. And you know what? Whatever. Once again, this is one of those movies that I don't think I can watch again and my opinion will change of it. A while back, a few weeks ago, I got a comment on my review of The Element of Crime, Lars von Trier's The Element of Crime, and they said that they didn't like my review, and they said I should watch it again and, do a follow-up review. And I don't remember quite liking that movie too much, but that is one that I don't remember that didn't really stick with me too well. So, for that one, I'm willing to possibly, sometime in the near future, go back to that one and watch it again and maybe give it a better rating. I don't remember what I gave it, but I think it was like a C-, maybe a D+ or something, but honestly, it was hard to follow. And that is one of those movies that you have to watch again, like a couple of times to get everything. And with that one, because it didn't just flat out, I didn't flat out, think it was crap, I'm willing to give it another shot. So, to the person who gave me that comment, someday soon. And I think I commented on you already, someday soon. I don't know how much you'd have to pay me to see this again. Big bucks. Okay. I've got better things to do with my time than blather on about this film, so you know what? F+. F fucking plus. Why F+? Because it's not solid. It's still not solid. But I'm not sure. There's a slight part of me. There's a part of me that actually would want to see Picnic at Hanging Rock over this again. That's saying something. Now, I would much rather see this over Solo. Solo still reigns as the worst film in the history of Criterion. This is coming fucking close, though. It's Trek. It's horrible. It's awful. And that's my opinion. So, there you are. F+. Blah. Supplements. Oh god, the supplements. There's interviews with director Alain Renaud. The 2 interviews with him. The first one makes him look like a complete douche. And he might be. I'm not sure. He comes off as a pretentious asshole. The same way Godard does. And I was starting to think, is it because of the glasses? Is it the glasses? Is it the hair? Is it the suits? Is it the fact that he's French? And it can't be the French thing because, Francois Truffaut is a French director and he's great. His films are wonderful. I have not really had a problem with his films. So it's not the French thing. I mean, maybe he's just a much more humble director. But Godard and Renaud come off as, pretentious assholes, basically, And I don't know why that is. Because they just refuse to talk about their films, Truffaut, is willing to work with the viewer. He's a good director. He's a kind guy, So, yeah. Yeah, so it's hard. The first review is from like 1959, shortly after the movie was done. And then the second one was an audio interview that was done in 1980. The second one he talks about the film a little bit more than making the first one, mostly. And the second one is when I had to take a step back from from the first interview where he just comes off as a douchebag. Because I realized, it finally hit home in that interview that he really kind of wanted to make a film about the bombing, and it wasn't until the novelist Marguerite Duras, who wrote the screenplay. It wasn't until she came in and wrote all that dialogue is when the pretentiousness of this movie skyrocketed, and he went along with it, I think if she hadn't have stepped in and ruined it, we might have had a good movie, It's possible. I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much on it anymore. So, yeah. And then so basically what I was trying to say was Renaa might not be to blame for this one. I don't know. Because it sounds like Night and Fog is possibly a good film. I don't know. But at the same time, it also makes it sound like Last Year at Martin Bad I'm not gonna like that one either. It's funny because where I work at my library, that one's been sitting on our shelf for over a year, just sitting there. Nobody's checked it out. I've looked at it time and time again because it's a Criterion film, and thought, oh, someday, And now I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope I don't get to that day. But Night and Fog, we still have Night and Fog tomorrow, so maybe that one will be good. We'll see. But yeah, I guess Duras ruined it with her crappy dialogue. So yeah. And then there are two interviews with the woman, the actress Emmanuelle Riva, yeah. One during the Cannes Film Festival, where she talks about making the film. And then a longer one done for this DVD in 2003. And I guess, yeah, she's still alive. She actually won like a bunch of awards for a film she did a few years ago called Amour, which I keep seeing through and throughout, the library where I work at. And yeah, so I guess, that was a big movie for her. And I was like, holy crap, I didn't know she was in that film. I've seen that all the time. I keep seeing that coming in through our library. So yeah, intrigued, and yeah, so then the other thing is just some screenplay annotations by Marguerite Duras, read by somebody and narrated over some clips from the film, as where they, from the basically, novel annotations over the film, and yeah. So and no trailer too. That's the weird thing too. And that's Hiroshima Mon Amour. I don't think my opinion is going to change about this movie, because F+. Feel free to hate, because you will. If you love this movie, congratulations. If you don't like this movie, I feel your pain. Either way, it exists, and here it is, and there it goes. Alright. Now, tomorrow. Now originally my plan was to do both Hiroshima Mon Amour and Night and Fog together, because Night and Fog is only, I guess, a half hour long. It says 31 minutes, making it the shortest Criterion release we've had so far. I think the shortest is probably the kid with the balloon, or the red, no, not the kid in the, I'm thinking the kid in the bike, the red balloon. I think the red balloon might be the shortest Criterion feature in the release. I think the shortest we've had before this is probably Most Dangerous Game. And if you want to be really specific, you could count Stan Brackett's Eyepiece or Eye Poem, or yeah, I think it's Eyepiece, the 9-second film. But yeah, so Night and Fog is tomorrow. It's only a half hour, so we'll knock it out real quick. And I'm hoping this is better. Although it looks really dark, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's a Night and Fog tomorrow. Sunday, we will do Ollie, Fear Eats the Soul. And Monday, Schizopolis. And then Tuesday, we'll do the Honeymoon Killers. And then we'll be done. And of course, I don't have the Honeymoon Killers because I can't get it from the library, so I'll have to watch it on Hulu Plus. Yeah, that's the thing. I can't even get a normal copy of it to just use in its place. So yeah, I'll have to use my brother's Hulu Plus account to use it and to watch that one. And yeah, and that's it. Yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't watch Hiroshima Mon Amour unless you're into that kind of shit. And don't romanticize the killing of so many Japanese people. Don't turn your sorry, sad, pathetic life into a love story, against the backdrop of one of the most devastating catastrophes of world history. Don't do it. Because you only look stupid when you do so. I'm fearing the backlash I'm going to get from this, but I gotta leave you with that. Anyway, thank you for watching, if you still are. And we will see you tomorrow for hopefully what is a good Alan Rena film, Night and Fog. And until then, goodbye.